Alright, so if you guys watched my last video, you know it was a jumbled mess, and I apologize for that. And the reason for that is this one part right here. This is our intermediate shaft, and the reason why it took so long to get this job done was because I ordered one for an automatic when I needed one for a manual. Now, in addition to that, it took another 2 weeks or so to get this one in, and when it did come in, this ring here was damaged, and that's why it looks rusty and worse than the rest of the part. I actually had to break this thing off, around here somewhere. Here it is. Because this was all bent up. See if I can show you guys. And it was actually way worse. I'll see if I can throw a picture on screen, but as you guys can see, it was pretty bent up. I tried to straighten it back out with a hammer, and when I did that, I noticed that it was slowly working its way off of the half shaft, so I was like, oh, I'll just take the old one, which is perfectly straight, and apply that. Now, the reason why I wanted to keep this thing nice and straight and not use a bent up one is because if you come in here and look at the transmission on the TSX, that's actually the spot that's gonna, see if I can get some light in here, it's gonna rotate around that rubber seal. So I don't want it to be misshapen because I don't want it to scratch or make any noises. Now, in addition to having to do the half shaft on this side, the axle, and literally the entire suspension, we also need to do an oil change and refill the transmission fluid because we lost some when we did the other axle. Now, we got about an hour left of daylight here on a beautiful Friday evening. Tomorrow's Saturday, it's gonna be rainy, so I don't think I can even work out here. And then we have all day Sunday too, so we're gonna get to work on this thing and see how far we can get. Oh, and I should mention the reason for this oil change, it's not that it's necessarily there yet mileage-wise. I actually had the timing chain replaced on this car because it went on me while I was driving, and I'm sorry I didn't film that. I, at the time, really wasn't uploading to the channel at all, and I apologize. It would have been good content. Uncle Tim did do the timing chain in this thing. It's completely refreshed, which I'm actually really excited for, because this car, if you guys didn't know, has 200,000 miles on it, which, I mean, I think it's looking pretty good for 200K, and now that it has a fresh timing chain and we're working on a suspension refresh, this thing's actually gonna be in really good shape for its age. So, at the end of the day, I'm really excited to get this thing back together, and I just realized I didn't even explain in the last clip the reason for the oil change is I was only supposed to drive it 1,000 to 1,500 miles after the timing chain replacement before I did my oil change per Uncle Tim's instructions. He said to change it after 1,000 to 1,500. We're a little bit under 1,000 I think right now, but it's up on jack stands, the axles are out, easier to get at the filter, so we're just gonna do it. Alright guys, so oil change is almost done. We just need to fill her up. I think it said 4.2 to 4.4 liters with without filter, so we'll start somewhere around 4.2 and then add until we're a little bit higher than the mid-level on our dipstick. You guys know how to change oil. Now the weird thing with the transmission fluid is, so our fill plug for our transmission is actually way up in there, and I know a lot of guys run a hose with their funnel up into the engine bay. I think what I'm gonna do instead is just try and wedge a funnel in there. I hope I can fit one. Probably can't. Now that I look at it, it's like really far in there. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera how far that is. So I may actually have to wait on doing the transmission fluid, which would kind of suck because it would be a lot easier to just do it now while the car's up. Actually, let's just see. Let's just get a funnel. Hi, project car that we haven't touched in forever. That funnel might not. Oh, I think I have one out in the driveway. It's, all over the place tonight. I think this is the longer boy. I'll try it. Come on, no whammies, no whammies. Yeah, it's pretty deep in there, boys. No, doesn't even kind of fit. So we're gonna need a funnel with a hose because I don't think we own one of those, which is brutal. But in the meantime, what we can do, like I said, fill up the engine with some motor oil, and then we are also going to install our new half shaft with our nice old brown ring that should fit nice up into our transmission. Alright guys, oil change is all done. We're gonna move on to our half shaft and see how much of the suspension we can do on that side too. Ideally, I would like to start and run the motor. I know that's a good idea after an oil change. Probably not super necessary, but it'd help me sleep at night. So we're gonna keep going. We'll do the half shaft and the lower control arm, then the passenger side axle, then the knuckle and upper control arm are one piece because I didn't separate the upper control arm from the knuckle. Still a good bit of work ahead of us. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it all tonight, but I'm gonna do the best I can and hopefully at least start this thing. I'll probably leave the clutch in because one time when I started the Civic, when I had the axles out of the knuckles for one reason or another, I left it in neutral, but like it still spun, so not gonna do that again. But yeah, for now, we're just gonna keep going, get as much installed as we possibly can. And I actually lost track of which bolts came out of which spot on the bracket here. I actually thought they were all the same, but they're not. As you guys can see, 2 bolts are the same and then one is different. So I actually wanted to take a second to shout out 2 companies. That's Heel Toe Auto, who got me this half shaft when everyone else was out of stock, and OEM Acura parts, because not only do they come through with the hardware real fast, but they have these awesome diagrams on their website that you can use, and they'll tell you things like which bolts go where. So I highly recommend checking out both companies if you guys are looking for any OEM parts, or Heel Toe if you're looking for aftermarket. Plus, these are important things to check because sometimes when you're new at things and don't know what you're doing, you put the wrong bolt in the wrong spot and you end up over tightening it to the point you snap it because it's not going down all the way. Look, I've made mistakes, okay? I've learned from them. Don't make the ones I have. Make sure you guys double check which bolt goes where. If you can, just take an extra couple minutes, do your research, and do it right. Better to do it right than to do it twice, especially with cars, because drilling out things is brutal. I have 2 bolts that I have been hesitating to drill out of this thing before I paint it. We'll get there when we get there. You guys are looking at the face of the feet once again. Let me show you guys what happened here. This is absolutely brutal. So unfortunately, my little trick with that ring up in there where the half shaft meets the transmission failed on us. What happened was I climbed underneath there and I noticed that there was a little bit of a gap. I'm actually gonna show you guys on the Civic transmission because it's easier to see. If we come up in here to the Civic transmission, as you guys can see, that ring is right up tight to the rubber seal on the transmission and it rotates with the axle. When I put my new one in with the little trick, I noticed that I actually hammered this up a little too far and that there was a gap in here. So what I did was I tapped it down to be flush, and then I noticed that it was spinning independently of the axle, or the half shaft I mean, because I must have like stretched out the hole too much, and so it became loose. And so now, this half shaft is once again dickered. Actually guys, I figured something out. So here's what I did. I actually was looking at the Civic one here, and I was like, this drive shaft is probably the same width as the other one, and it looked like it was the same part on there. So what I did was I just hammered it off, because I'm really not gonna use this anyway. This housing was cracked, and this shaft needs replacing anyway if it were to ever go in a Civic, and I don't even have a Civic, but that's not the point. This thing had a ring on it that happened to be the same ring as the TSX half shaft, so I used that. Coming on over into the car, I went for a test fit, and as you guys will see up under there, we have a nice even seal, and I'm gonna spin the axle around, or the half shaft around, and you guys will see we got a nice even seal all the way around. It was definitely a tricky little setback, but I am definitely glad I had that extra axle laying around. It's like 11 o'clock at night though, so I probably am gonna bolt this thing up and call it a night here. We're gonna assemble the whole rest of the suspension next time we work on this thing, as well as throw some transmission fluid in there. And then we got some ground wires to look at as well, and this thing should be ready to rip. So probably film one more progress clip before I head to bed, but this is probably it for now. All right guys, so our new half shaft is all set. We got 1 bolt there, 1 behind on that same bracket, and then 1 up top with our nice sealed ring all the way in the back there too. Now before I clean up, I did forget to run this thing after the oil change, and I do want to make sure I let some of the new stuff circulate real quick. Probably not super necessary to run it, but it would make me feel better, so I am going to do that. I apologize to my neighbors, even though it's like 11:30 at night. It's Friday. Let her rip. I'm going to leave the clutch in too, because I'm just a little bit concerned without the axle nut on this side. I just don't want anything to spin, so I'll probably leave the clutch in too while I let it run. Oh man, it's been a minute. Oh, my poor neighbors. Oh, it doesn't sound happy. She's about to die. I think we got no back. Look at this. Uh-oh, we got half a screen. That's what happens when I try to start it, so. Something's wrong. Oh no. Oh man. I assume she'll just need a jump because it's been a while. Oh, I hope that's not a worse issue. Could be a ground wire. Actually, now that I think about it, I was gonna do those anyway, but there's at least 1 or 2 that are pretty bad here in the bay. Let me see if I can get the light down here. Who knows, maybe they finally went, but there's 1 down there, pretty frayed up. That's pretty horrifying. And then there was another somewhere over here, I think. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it could be either of those. So we'll do the grounds and replace the battery, and then we'll start it and let it run on Sunday morning, I guess. All right, guys, we're back here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, which means it's time to get this thing back together. We're just gonna top off the transmission fluid, then we're gonna put it back together, go for a ride, and see how this thing drives. So weird little thing with our transmission fluid change or refill that I noticed is, if you look in here, our fill plug is right behind the tube there, and when I removed that, I didn't expect any fluid to come out because we lost some when we were doing the axle. So I figured the level would be lower than that fill plug, but it was absolutely dumping fluid. I did put some fresh stuff in there as well, but it seems like it was dumping out pretty much everything that was going in there, so I don't know if there was more than required amount of transmission fluid. I don't know. I just called Uncle Tim to see if I could get an opinion on that. I'm really not sure, so I'm just gonna keep going on the other side for now. It's pretty easy to get at this drain plug and this fill plug on this car, so if we have to do this again, it's really no problem. But for now, I do want to get this car at least back together, so let's keep working. So I was refilling my transmission fluid because when I took my axle out, I dripped out a little bit.
Okay.
And when I took the fill plug off, because I wasn't gonna drain it all, I was just gonna like refill a little bit, there was a ton of fluid that came out the fill plug.
Is it level for everything? Kind of level?
No, it's tilted back.
Yeah, not sure what reason.
That's why. All right. So I'll have to roll it out onto the flat road and get it level.
Yeah, the car needs to be level in order for you to fill it to the top of the bottom of the fill plug.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Because now if the front end's up, the transmission leads backwards, so where do you think the fluid's going? Back?
Yeah, it's gonna dump out the fill plug. So there's at least enough to drive around to get it level,
Yeah,
and then...
If it's still coming out of the fill plug, then, you know what I mean? Get it level, and if it still comes out, you get more than enough in.
Alright.
I know when I do fill transmissions, I always put a little extra in. So yeah, if you get it on level ground and just take that off and look at it.
Alright, sounds good.
Alrighty?
Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
Talk to you soon.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Alright guys, quick progress update for you real quick. We do have both sides done for the most part. All that's really left here is going to be our axle nut, so what we have to do is throw our wheel on without a hubcap. I'll show you on the other side. Oh, and we do have the battery charging too because it didn't start the other night. Hopefully it's just the battery and not the ground wires because I really don't want to do that tonight. But as you guys can see, if you leave the hubcap, you can access the axle nut, and that's really convenient because right now if I were to turn the axle nut, the whole thing would just spin. So what I'm going to do is let the car down, and when the car's on the ground, the tire will keep the axles from spinning when you move the axle nut. And so we'll torque it down that way, let it up one more time, take the wheels off, then peen the axle nuts, and then we'll put the wheels back on, let it down one more time, and then we're gonna torque our top strut as well. Oh, also, I gotta tighten the fill plug on the transmission before I let it down for good. And then we're gonna tighten the top hats over here once it's down on the ground for good. Then we're gonna roll it over to the flat ground over there, jack it up one more time, and just fill up the transmission with fluid before we give it a test drive. Alright guys, so we are definitely chasing daylight, but the TSX is pretty much done. All we have to do is move it over this way and get it on level ground so that we can do the transmission refill on level ground, because that's why it dumped out a ton out of our fill plug. So hopefully at 75%-ish, I think this thing should start off the trickle charge. If not, we may have to jump it. If that doesn't work, it's the ground wires, which means I'm gonna be out here a little later tonight because I think I have some from the Civic that'll work, but hopefully this thing kind of just boots right up for us. I mean, it didn't run for like 2 weeks, so it makes sense that it died. So yeah, hopefully we can just give it a crank, it'll start, we'll be able to roll over there and get this transmission leveled off and go for a rip. Yeah, this already looks way better than last night. Yeah, baby, let's go!
Let it run for a bit, buddy.
Oh yeah.
If you shut it off over here, hopefully it'll restart.
Yeah, okay.
What's that noise, Kyle?
Alright guys, so we are out here for our test drive, our maiden voyage with our new axles and half shaft. I'm excited and I'm nervous because this thing was making some noise when we left. I'm gonna let it actually warm up for a minute so that it's kind of quiet and I can hear what's going on. Plan of attack on this ride is gonna be to just chill out. For one, I don't know if like there's any axle bind going on. Probably not. Felt like it was pretty straight. Here, I'll try and pick this up as well. It felt like it was pretty straight. It felt like there was no axle bind or anything like that, so that should be good. Now, it was making some noises at me when I was leaving out of the driveway. I didn't feel anything in the clutch pedal or anything, so I, again, don't think it was axles. One was definitely just the heat shield, because that happens dust shield, not heat shield, dust shield. It happens every single time I work on the car. The dust shield gets bent, it rubs into the rotor, and it's a pain in the butt. And then I also heard a little bit of, I think it's the coilover binding while I was turning my wheel, but it's not doing it now. So actually I'll turn the whole wheel. Yeah, it's not doing it now. So hopefully this will be all set. Maybe it just needed to kind of settle, like the coilovers or whatever, but I think it's quiet enough now. We're gonna get this thing going. I'm sorry about the weird camera angle, guys. I've been meaning to get a mount or something to take care of that, but so nice and slow to start. I like to kind of do this stuff, just like back it up, move it around, hit a light bump. And now we'll just kind of cruise it around town, man. Pretty quiet compared to before. I'll roll down the window. Now, so far, that acceleration wobble is like gone, which is awesome. That was the #1 reason for doing this. I'm hearing a little bit of that heat shield. That's fine, easy fix. Yeah, we're gonna do a right-hander here. Feels pretty good. Definitely a little noise coming from the heat shield still. You'd hear it if you were outside of the car. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. The right-hander, right side feels really good, guys. The car feels lighter, which is a really good sign, man. It feels so good. The alignment actually feels much better, and it feels like there's a lot less play in the front end now. So I think we did some good. I think we're gonna head out to where we got a little bit more speed going and see how it does out there. But oh man, guys, it's so cool that it's not like shaking and vibrating when I pull it like that. Now I do want to be careful, like I said. Just so many new parts, so many things that we did. Wow. I don't know if these axles require like more gas to get going, like if they're heavier or not, but they do feel a little heavier. I could just be in my head about that. That's a pretty solid feeling pull there. All right, so we got takeoff #2 coming up here, guys. Light's about to change green. Well, it feels about the same. Probably just a little out of practice. It's been so long. Car feels great, man. This car needed these axles. Wow. This is a different vehicle, man. This is awesome. I gotta say, the TSX feels very stiff now compared to when we got it. We had obviously a lot of OEM parts in it when we got it. I don't know if these axles like feel any stiffer than OEM would be. Let me roll the window up. But they definitely stiffen up the feel of the front of the car. I don't know if it doesn't feel any stiffer like going over bumps per se, but it just feels so much tighter. And then obviously we have the solid motor mounts as well, or the 75A. I don't know if they're technically solid or not. And then the coilovers too. We got some pretty low profile tires, which I think I am gonna swap back to my Evo wheels with some bigger sidewall, because I like some tire. But man, for now, I am just super stoked with this thing. I'm so happy I'm driving it, to be honest with you guys. I know these videos are probably gonna come out pretty close to one another. I think there's gonna be like 3 of them working on the TSX. But for me, it's been a long time because of that half shaft debacle. So, dude, it's feeling really good. I'm so stoked. It's a nice even pull now, no more vibration. This car is really coming out so nice, man. To have a car with almost 200,000 miles on it that's driving this smooth, dude, I'm so excited. I really am. I still feel like something's maybe a little loose on the front right, which is really strange because that's literally all new. It's a new control arm, new ball joint, new axle. It's literally new everything but tie rods. So I think it's time to do the tie rods as well. And if I'm gonna get it aligned, I might as well throw some tie rods in it. But dude, I'm super stoked. I'm gonna drive this thing back home, and then I'm gonna throw some oil in it, make sure that I have the correct levels, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Guys, if you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you watching. I've been absolutely loving making these videos. I think I'm finally hitting my stride a little bit with them again, feeling comfortable vlogging and all of that. So we got a whole season ahead of us, guys. We got the TSX and RSX content coming out, and I can't wait to enjoy it with you all. So again, guys, if you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys. Peace. Guys, I had to take the camera back out for a second. I just gave this thing a little bit of a pull, second to third, and oh man, is it so much fun. Dude, this car is really, it does feel a lot faster. I think it's probably just because it's putting the power down a little bit more evenly, a little more comfortably now with these new axles. Dude, this thing is so much fun. I'm gonna give it one more rip for you guys here. I know it's hard to tell like on camera or whatever how much fun it is or how like quick it feels. I mean, it's a TSX, it's a stock TSX. I'm not saying it's fast by any means, but you know what I mean. Dude, it's so much fun. I'll get a little third gear here. It's pulling so much smoother, dude. Are you kidding me? That's so good. Dude, those steering wheels used to like wobble around all the time. Now I do hear some kind of vibration going in the front. I don't know if it's like an interior thing or what, but I'm hearing like a bzzz. You're gonna have to probably check that out, but dude, for the most part, this thing, I'm so stoked. I know I already said goodbye in the other clip. Maybe I will edit it out or something. If I don't end up editing it out and this is the second goodbye, guys, seriously, you made it this far. I genuinely appreciate you again, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.